All right, so today we're going to be showing you how we take care of Saturn. That's this guy right beside me. Hi everyone, this is Dwayne with Edge of Nowhere Farm, and actually we're here with you today doing part 2 of our 3-part series on winter pruning. So we're actually next to our Saturn donut peach. We haven't gotten any fruit off this tree yet. Actually, this has been in the ground for just under a year. We got it as a bare root fruit tree, and actually this was part of the urban farm fruit tree program. So want to thank Mr. Peterson for this tree. But ultimately we got it as a bare root. It was cut to about, I think it looks like it's here. So I think I had it cut to about that tall. So we cut it to here. It was just a stick. I don't know if you can see in the middle, but that's about the size of the caliper. So it was about a 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. But ultimately, this was where it started. So we cut the tree off there, again, just about a year ago, and it's grown into this. So it goes from a stick in the ground, and that's all it looked like, to a tree that's about 7 feet tall. So peach trees. We'll talk more about this tree when we get some time, and hopefully we'll get some fruit this year. So we'll talk more about it then. But what we really want to focus on today is pruning. So you can see a tremendous amount of growth from this tree. But ultimately what we need to do is we need to bring it back down. So peach trees. Peach trees, the reason why I'm starting with this tree here, we have multiple peach trees here on the farm, this one being one of our newest. But what I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about is the different techniques that you need to use with your trees. So now peach trees produce on 1-year-old wood. So basically everything that's on here is 1 year. So from where that stub was essentially, everything else that you see could potentially have fruit on it. The problem is this tree's only a year old. So even if we go back to the very original grafting of this tree, which was probably 2 years ago, it's only 2 years old. So the reality is, as much as we've got a lot of growth underneath the ground, so a lot of root structure is underneath the ground here, this cannot support all of the fruit production that it's going to try to put on come spring. And we're about a month away from bud break on these. So what we really need to do is we need to bring this tree way back so that it can actually support some fruiting. So we're going to need to do that. However, we want to be cautious with, again, if we want fruit this year, because it's 1-year-old wood is what produces our fruit, we need to be careful with what exactly we're cutting off. So one of the reasons why I wanted to do a peach tree in this series of 3 is because it's pruned differently. We really do the majority of our pruning on our older established peach trees. We do the majority of the pruning in the summertime. During the wintertime, what we really do once we've lost the leaves, and I'll link a video here that you can see us actually taking leaves off of our one of our other peach trees. It was our Desert Gold peach tree to help it get into dormancy. But once it's gotten to this point where there are no leaves on it, it's still alive, but during the wintertime, the only thing that we do is we come in and we're going to open up the center. You'll see that here in just a minute. And we want to just control the height because we don't want these to reach astronomical heights, because we net our peach trees. That way we get some peaches, not just the birds that love our peaches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a few steps. I'm going to link our first video here as well, so you can see what tools I'm using today. Use the same tools here as I do on any other pruning day. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of show you step by step how we go through this tree. Okay, so now a little bit more on the details. Again, this is specific to peach trees, and this is specific to winter pruning on peach trees. So what I'm going to do is, first thing first, I'm going to come in and I'm going to open up the middle. So what's really important is you want to make sure that, peaches, they're going to fruit all over the place in here. So we want to make sure that sunlight can get down into the canopy. Now, one of the things that I don't do during my summer pruning, which we'll do another video series on that, is I don't open up the center during the summertime. It's extremely hot. We're in Arizona. So I don't want to open this up during the summertime because I don't want the sun beating down into the middle of the tree. But because I want to have that light exposure to the middle of the tree to maximize our fruit production, I need to open it up now. So the first thing I'm going to do is come through here. Any branch that's going towards the middle of the tree is going to go away. So I start out with that. So that's what I'm going to do first. Every single one of these is coming off. So I start to open up the middle. So I've got more detail to come in here. I'm not going to bore you guys with that. So that'll be the first thing. Now, what I do notice too is when I first started this tree, I left a little bit too much of this, at least compared to where it's grown around now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my loppers and I'm going to take that off completely. We don't need that. All right. So that's done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to go through the middle, and I'm going to take the rest of those branches that are growing into the middle off. Second thing I want to look for, so open up the middle would be first. Second thing I'm going to look for, again, winter pruning specifically, because we've lost all the leaves and I can easily see all the branches, I've got a whole lot of branches that are obviously crossing. So the next thing I'm going to do is any branch that's growing into another branch is going to go away. And I just started on one part of the tree, and then I work my way around it. So I can see here on this branch, there's several that are going to go. I got more little nubs here that are going to be growing into the middle, and I don't want that. So that's the next thing that I'm going to be looking for as far as my winter pruning of my peach trees. So the third thing that I look for, and again, not in any necessary order, is anything that's dead, broken, anything like that. And I was looking through this a little bit before we started filming, and what's amazing is I don't think I have any dead branches on this tree, which is really kind of incredible. I usually have at least a handful, and this being a brand new tree, it's pretty amazing, but I just don't see them. So that would be the other thing that I'm looking for again during winter pruning, because I can easily see everything. So, and peaches kind of go crazy. They got branches all over the place. So I've got to come through here and open this up quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a minute. Lori will probably help me out. We're going to go around this tree and finish kind of going through and doing all the detail work, and we'll show you what that looks like here at the end. Okay, so we're back. So Lori and I spent the last 5 or 10 minutes going through and cleaning this up a little bit. Probably got a few more cleaning cuts to do, but for the most part it's done. So we kind of wanted to give you an idea for, again, winter pruning on a peach tree. We opened up the center, so you can see a lot more space here in the center. Anything that was growing into the middle is now gone, so those are gone. I had a lot of small branches that were crossing, still one or two more we could probably come back through here and clean up, but for the most part that's really all you need to do during the winter time. Now, size control, this tree is still a bit taller than I want it to be. However, I can come back during the summertime and bring this back down. So what we'll probably do is do a summer peach tree, because it's more peach trees than anything else, but a summer peach tree pruning lesson, give you an idea of what you do once the fruit production is gone. So in other words, the fruit has already been completed, we've already harvested all of it, and then you come back through and you do your summer pruning immediately after. So we'll come back another day and we'll show you that. So hopefully you got something out of this today. I know we had a good time doing this. Lori actually learned a few things and did a great job helping me today, which is wonderful, because usually I'm out here on my own during the pruning season. But it was great to have her out here today and having you joining us as well. So thank you again for joining us. And as always, this has been Dwayne and Lori reminding you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere, so can you.